One of the biggest names in the hemp industry is selling products that tested 780% above the federal legal limit for THC. I bought two of their products and I have them independently tested. And what came back should concern every person buying hemp in this country. This is Cookies, and this is the evidence. Cookies is one of the most well-known brands in the hemp space. And when I pulled up their website, it read like a cannabis dispensary menu, not a hemp store. I settled in on a pre-roll line called THCA Diamond Infused. Now, if you've spent any time in this industry, you already know that diamond infused products should test way above hemp regulations. The diamonds alone, THCA crystals, are one of the most potent cannabis concentrates on the market. But Cookies had their COAs posted, so I took a look. Every single diamond infused product was tested by the same lab, Accurate Test Labs. And here's what was strange. Every COA for these diamond infused products showed extremely high CBGA values and virtually zero THCA or D9. That doesn't add up. Why is Cookies selling THCA diamond infused products where the test results show almost no THCA? And why does every product from this line show nearly identical CBGA, THCA, and D9 values? I ordered two products to find out, fish scale and honey bun pre-rolls. Before I get into my test results, let's talk about something on the Cookies website that concerned me. When you land on their site, you'll find information on their testing. It says, and I'm reading this directly, lab tested for purity, potency, and safety, clearly labeled and fully compliant. So I went looking for those tests, pesticide tests, heavy metal tests, yeast and mold tests, the ones that actually tell you whether a product is safe to inhale. I couldn't find a single one. Not one COA for pesticides, not one for heavy metals, not one for yeast or mold. For a company selling infused pre-rolls, products you're putting in your lungs, that's not a minor oversight. That's a compliance claim with no documentation to back it up. They also say their products are clearly labeled. We'll come back to that. Now let's talk about Accurate Test Labs because the issues don't stop with Cookies. I want to show you something on the fish scale COA right here, where the strain name goes on an official test record. Accurate Test Labs has printed THCA less than 0.3%. That is advertising language. That is a marketing claim. In the field where they are supposed to list the strain name, this ISO 17025 accredited laboratory, which also holds accreditation through Perry Johnson Laboratories, chose to print a legal compliance claim for their customer. That's not a mistake. That's a deliberate violation of ISO 17025 impartiality and objectivity standards. And it likely violates PGLA accreditation standards as well. And then in the subheader in bold, they've printed infused pre-roll, more advertising, more standards violations on an official test record. And one more thing. Look at the sample photo on this COA. That's a plastic tube blue. Is that what they tested for? Because that raises a very serious question about whether the sample that was tested is the product that ended up on the shelf. This is what an acceptable sample photograph looks like. At this point, we have Cookies COAs that show virtually no THCA or D9 on diamond-infused products and a lab with multiple documentation violations. There are only three explanations that fit the evidence. One, Cookies is submitting fake, non-representative samples for testing. Two, Accurate Test Labs is colluding with Cookies to produce specific test results. Or three, Accurate Test Labs is dry labbing. That's by generating test results without actually testing the product, which would explain why all of these COAs show remarkably similar CBGA, THCA, and D9 readings across an entire product line with different batch numbers. Any one of these scenarios is fraud. And my independent test results point directly to one of them being true. Let's get into what I actually found. Fish scale. My independent test results, 0.07% CBGA. That's a massive difference from the Cookies COA. And I found 4.35% THCA and 2.64% Delta-9 THC. The federal legal limit for Delta-9 THC and hemp is 0.3%. This product tested at 2.64%. That is 780% above the legal limit. This is not a hemp product. This is an illegal cannabis product being sold as hemp. Honey bun. My results, 0.12% CBGA, 4.71% THCA, and 2.66% Delta-9 THC. 786% above the legal limit, also illegal, also not even close. And look at these D9 numbers side by side, 2.64% and 2.66%, nearly identical Delta-9 across two different products, while the Cookies COA show practically zero. That pattern is not a testing error. That's the difference between falsified lab reports and what's actually in a product. This is not a one-off mistake. This is a pattern. A well-known brand, a testing lab with accreditation it appears to be actively violating, COAs that don't reflect what's in the product, and compliance marketing on a website that falls apart the moment you look for the documentation. Consumers buying these products believe they're purchasing something legal and tested. They are not. I'll be doing a deeper dive on accurate test labs in a separate video because what I found there goes beyond just this product line. If you're buying hemp products, know this: a COA is only as trustworthy as the lab that produced it, and not all labs are operating with integrity. If this investigation is useful to you, subscribe because there's more coming.